my name is Liz Hicks, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the differences between inks that are out on the market. If you want to kind of make it simple, you can break inks down into two different types. And when I'm talking about inks, I'm talking about ink pads. So when you go to stamp or create artwork with your ink pad, you're going to really want to look at it at two different types of ink. You have your dye-based ink and your pigment ink. And within those inks, you have very different types that can meet your different needs for creating your projects. If you look at it in the sense of having your dye-based ink and your pigment ink, it's going to range in, I want to say maybe like a texture from anywhere from water to like a mayonnaise. So if you're thinking of your archival or your dye-based ink, that's going to be very fluid. It's going to be watery, very much thinner. If you go into the opposite end to kind of your thicker pigment inks, those are richer, those are heavier, those are going to be a lot more thicker. It's going to have that consistency of mayonnaise. So that's what we like to kind of describe it as, anywhere from water to mayonnaise. You're going to have a nice flexibility with your inks. When we are talking about, let's go ahead and start with dye-based inks. When we are talking about our dye-based inks, let me just go and pull it up here. So dye-based, with that, what you're going to have is you're going to have an ink that gives off a really beautiful color, but it'll dry really quick, really nice and fast. You won't have to wait or heat set it. It just basically you stamp and you dry and you go. With your dye-based inks, what you'll find though is that the images aren't going to be as rich, but you can get them done nice and quickly. Great if you're making Christmas cards or birthday invitations, anything that you're going to need to do in multiples. Okay, a great example here with the dye-based ink. You'll just see my sample right here where I've taken some pattern paper here. It has kind of like a black and white pattern, but with the archival dye-based ink, you'll see that it does have a translucency. You can see through it. It's very much, like I said, very much like water, and it dries really quick. I just stamped this right now, and it's very, very solid. I don't have to worry about my image running or my image bleeding or anything. It is there to stay. Okay, next let's go ahead and talk about the pigment style inks. And so within pigment inks, what you're going to find is that is going to give you that really nice richness, that bold color, that really nice, just a vibrant image when you go to stamp or when you go to apply it to any of your surfaces. Within the Clearsnap lines, we do have the Crafter's ink as well as the Color Box pigment stamp pad. These two, you can see the samples that I have right here. Because these have that consistency more like mayonnaise or yogurt, really a little bit more thicker, the image in the back of the paper, of the pattern paper, it's not going to come across as vivid as, say, the dye-based ink because of the fact that the ink is much more richer. It's a lot more just pronounced. And so when you're looking into creating your stamped images or colorizing your backgrounds, you really want to take that into effect, the fact that that's what you're going to get. It really does give a nice solid coverage. Also with the stamp, the pigment ink as well as the Crafter's inks, they're great for a lot of different types of surfaces, and drying time is just going to really depend on what type of surface that you place it on. All right, and within, again, the pigment style ink, right in between as far as different sheens or different dry times is going to be the chalk ink. The chalk ink has a really nice, subtle, very subtle look to it. It's not going to be as bold as your pigment ink, but it's not going to be as soft as your dye-based ink. It's just kind of right there, nice in the middle. It's a great blend of both and offers a really nice, subtle hue. The chalk-based ink also, what's really great about that is that you can go ahead and buff it to create just a really nice, subtle sheen to it. And you can see my example here where it's kind of, again, in between. When you press it down onto a piece of paper, you'll still see some of that pattern showing through, but it's not going to be quite as see-through as, say, the archival ink. So this gives you a really nice understanding of inks anywhere from dye to pigment-based, varying coverages as well as different dry times, and just the way that each different ink is going to react. In our next videos, what we're going to do is go ahead and take each ink and show you different product specifics for each ink and just different ways that you can have fun with them.